Hello and welcome to the weekly weigh-in. It's Sunday, July 27th, 2025, and my name is Laraine Durham. Welcome to The Downsize. This is our channel where we talk about everything related to GLP-1, weight loss, health, and fitness. I've lost over 50 pounds on Tirzepatide, and I'm here with my husband of 22 years.
Oh, my name's Christopher Durham.
And this is our weekly weigh-in where we have a chance to catch you up with what's been going on in our week, how our weight loss journey is going, or now our maintenance journey is going, and tell you what's happening and answer some questions from viewers.
Or weigh in, as we like to say.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we are in Washington, D.C. We've just wrapped up a 4-day conference. Was it a 4-day conference? We're here 4 days.
Well, 3 days, I think, but we were here for.
At the Obesity Action Coalition Your Weight Matters convention. This is their 20th year of existence of the Obesity Action Coalition.
Yep.
And so they were, doing some special 20th anniversary things last night. We had a dinner and a gala, and they had some awards, and it was very nice. So we've learned a lot over these past couple of days, and I think it was a valuable experience.
Yeah, so we'll tell you a little bit more about the convention in a little while, but let's start with weight because, everybody wants to know, up, down, you went to a convention, did you gain weight? You traveled, did you gain weight? Well, of course, with us, there's always something going on, right? Always something going on. So guess what? We forgot our shots again.
Oh, you're gonna, yeah.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. We forgot our shots. And the bad thing is, we had the whole little case. The vials were in the case. The pieces for the part were frozen. It was all ready to go.
We had the other part in the refrigerator with the vials and the extra needles and the insulin wipes, and just forgot it. We went through security on the way here, and Christopher says, "You know what we forgot?" And I said, "The shots." And he said, "Yes." I was like, "Dang it!"
So our shot day is normally on Friday. So today is Sunday. So it's a couple of days. We'll take it when we get back. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
Well, our shot day's Friday. Today's Sunday, so we'll be back later today. It's fine. How's your hunger level?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm thinking about breakfast. I mean, it is 7:54. I have a latte. I would like some breakfast after this.
Well, we can certainly get you something to
Our
eat.
flight was supposed to be at 11. Now it's moved to 2. So I guess we'll be hanging out in the Reagan airport later today.
You might hear a little bit of noise. We're actually still sitting in the conference area, and they're packing up a little bit. So if you hear a bang or something, that's what they're doing.
We were trying to record outside, and there's trains that go by the hotel every seems like 30 seconds.
It does.
So we had to come inside. It's also pretty hot out there, so it's much cooler in here.
Well, so let's talk about weights because that was exciting. So a couple of things. Yeah, no, it wasn't. A couple was for me. A couple of things happened this week. So we'll talk about the SECA scans we did, which is kind of fun. And this morning, we travel with a travel scale. So we have a little Renfo travel scale.
And we kept forgetting. He was in his suitcase. So we just kept forgetting to get it out and weigh. So he's like, "Oh, do you want me to get the travel scale out and weigh, and we can say it on the weekend?" I'm like, "We weigh in?" And I said, "Yes, get it out." And you stepped on it.
Well, it was on the carpet.
It was on the carpet.
It's on the carpet. So I stepped on the travel scale the first time, and it said I weigh 138 pounds.
138 pounds.
Now, to recap, I started at 286.4 pounds. My lowest weight has been 184 pounds. So the odds of me,
ain't right.
Yeah, it was not correct. And she was like, "Oh, get it off the carpet, get it off." I was like, "Yeah, that was a rookie mistake."
Carpet, you put it on hard tile. So we moved it to the bathroom area, put it on hard tile. He stepped on it. It still said 138, right?
No. It said 182.
Oh, it said 182.
Which would be my low, if that's correct, would be my lowest weight ever. Well, not ever, but in this. I started out at 5.5 pounds.
I'm like, okay, well, let me see what my weight is, because we haven't really been eating much. I feel like I haven't been eating a lot, is what I feel like this week. I haven't been eating a lot.
Oh, no.
I got a lot of dancing in, we got a lot of sightseeing in, I got a lot of steps in, I did Zumba with the
well, and it turns out when you come to an obesity convention, the food is all grilled chicken and salad.
So grilled chicken. So much grilled chicken.
Which I like grilled chicken, but after the third day, I'm like, maybe something different would be good.
Well, the food was fine. It's hard to do we do conferences for our other business, and we know how it is to figure out these foods that are going to please the most amount of people. So we get it. So
but there was plenty of good options. It was not hard to
So, Laraine, what was your weight? Okay, so I step on the scale. It says low. Battery low. Are you kidding me? I step off, I step on, low. Let me take the batteries out. It's like little AA batteries. Take them out, blow on them, because you know, I'm an 80s kid. You blow on the cartridge, you put it back in, low.
Dead batteries.
And I was kind of wanting, to see like a lower weight, a good weigh-in, and so then I was kind of disappointed. So we were telling some of the other TikTok GLP-1 influencers who are here about our travel scale. I don't think anybody else brought a travel scale with us. Mm-hmm. I think they looked at us kind of like, one of the guys, Zach, I don't know his YouTube name, his TikTok name.
I don't know.
He was having a July no weigh in July.
Yes.
Where he was doing, every day of July, not weighing in on the scale. And I was like,
I said, Zach, that's not a thing.
Tell me more about this no weigh in July. He's like, well, I'm just trying to distance myself from the scale. Obviously, I don't know how much he had lost, probably over 100
pounds. Like 130 or 40 pounds, yeah. He had lost
but it's funny, because to look at him, you'd never know he
just
had been
like a skinny
overweight,
guy.
Right? He just looked like a smaller, average sized man. And I guess people look at us that way now too. It's kind of weird. Yep. Bizarre. But anyway, so yeah, he was kind of like, you have a travel scale? We're like, yeah, whatever. So anyway, so no weight. So
well, but for those of you who might be new here or recent here, to give you all the numbers, because people always want all the numbers.
I was gonna give them my.
That's what I was gonna ask for. Well, give height, weight,
right.
blah blah blah.
I was getting to it. One moment, please. Hold, please.
It's always hard to know where you're getting to.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose at times it could be. All right, so my starting weight. All right, so I'm a 56-year-old, 5'5", mother of 3 grown children, ages 19, 20, and 27. We've been married for 22 years. Just thought I'd throw that in again for good measure. My starting weight was 193 pounds. I have been as high as 250. 230 really, but most of the time my weight has ranged between 180 and 200 in my adult life. So I started this journey at 193, and before we left I weighed 142.4. So that's 50.6 pounds down, and that's cool. So I've been maintaining between about 140, 144 for the past year. And I have been as low as 138, and I was trying to get back to 138 for a while, and I figured out my body just didn't want to do that, and who cares, right? So I'm at 142, and that's kind of where I've just been hanging out, and it hasn't really caused me a lot of stress to be at this weight. I can eat, live. I'm not tracking every calorie. I do track some things sometimes. I have a new app called Me Again. You might want to check it out on the Apple stores for Apple, not Android, but it is a good place. I'm tracking my shot date. I can see the strength of the medicine in my body over time, and I track like some foods sometimes when I want to keep track of that. So anyway, it's called Me Again.
This is a sponsored post by Me Again.
This is a sponsored post. They are a new sponsor.
But it's a really cool app. Go check it out. It also has
really cool.
a virtual pet, basically like a 80s style Tamagotchi, if anybody knows what that is, where if you feed it and do all the things you're supposed to do, it's healthy. And
oh, I wonder if mine's not healthy anymore, because
did you kill yours?
I might have, because this week at the conference I haven't really been tracking anything, and let's see what he looks like.
No, he's just hanging out.
He's
like
low.
Yeah.
But you can put widgets on your phone to keep track of everything at a glance, like water, protein, etc. Yep. So anyway, that's my story. It took me about 6 months to lose right at 50 pounds. I lost an average of 1.58 pounds per week. Right in there in the middle of the averages, right? So the average weight loss that they found in the studies by Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, was 0.5 pound a week to 2 pounds a week. So your results may vary. But that's me for this week.
And so just to give you the numbers, of course, 56 years old. We have 2 daughters and I have a stepson. She told you the ages. I am 5'10 and a half, started at 286.4 pounds. My lowest weight has been, well, during this adventure piece of it, has been 184 pounds. Today, when I weighed on the travel scale, it said I was 182 pounds. Now the battery then died on her.
Then the battery
I don't hold a whole lot of hope in that. But if that is true, I'm down 106 pounds. I'm not really trying to lose weight at this point. My goal is to kind of stick at 185 pounds and go up or down just a hair, a couple of pounds either way. And so far I've been in maintenance the last 22 weeks. I'm on a 15 milligram dose of Tirzepatide.
7.5.
And have been a long time. I don't even know how many months, but a long time. Don't have any plans of going down anytime soon. I take it every 7 days. Everybody wants to know, are you going to stretch it out? Are you going to go down? No, I am not.
Well, we stretched it out this week. Not really meaning to. Stretched it out to 9 days.
I have no intention of it though. No, it's working for me. I'm feeling good. No, if you believe the travel scale, I lost a couple of pounds. I think that was more due to all salads and grilled chicken, but
there was a lot of vegetable. I mean, it's what we should be eating, right? But they had some little desserts too, but they were very like
little one bite,
small size.
Yeah.
Last night at the dinner, they had little. They were little chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
Darian kept calling them mousse. So we were joking about that. Little chocolate mousse squares. And then they also had like a little tiny fruit tart, like a little pastry shell with some kind of cream in it, and then like these pretty little fruits on the top. And so I went through the buffet line and I got one of the little mousse things and I ate my food. And we're all sitting there and I'm like, I really want one of those little fruit things. And I was sitting next to Summer the dietitian from Vineyard. You might know Dr. Nadolski's platform, Vineyard. So Summer the dietitian was sitting at our table and I was like, I wonder if I should ask her if she wants one of these. And I'm like, no, she probably doesn't eat stuff like this. So I went and I got one and I came back and she was gone. And then she came back with 3 on her plate. I was like, I was going to ask you if you wanted one, but I wasn't sure if you ate that or not. She goes, oh yeah. I mean, she had, and I was, you can go check out her Instagram, and she's on TikTok at Summer the Dietitian. She posts her food. She was posting her food every day this week if you want to check out what they were serving us at the conference, because I didn't even think to take pictures
and she's a GLP-1 user and has been for several years, right? Lost 100 plus pounds, I think. Yeah,
and her comment was, I was asking her if she can out-eat her. We're talking about out-eating the medicine. She's been on it for a while. Like she's been in maintenance for probably as long as I have, or if not longer. Mm-hmm. I think maybe her journey's been 3 years, she said. And I said, can you out-eat the medicine now? She goes, oh yeah. She said, people look at my plate and say, there's no way you're on 15 milligrams. How can you eat all that? And I totally can relate to that, because I think I've also gotten to the point where I can out-eat the medicine if I want. Now, I couldn't do that at the beginning. At the beginning, it was like 5 bites per meal and done. But you will be able to increase what you eat over time. And then you really have to get to the point where the medicine is like guide rails, right? It puts you in the middle of the street. If you want to veer off, you can bust through the guide rail if you want, but it helps keep me kind of on the path, so to speak.
And there's not donuts on the side of the guardrail going, eat me, eat me.
Donut. I use donuts as an example a lot, and so one of our viewers, Darium, shout out to It's Darium, he was at this conference too. We had a great time meeting him and talking with him, and and he knows all about my love of donuts. So everything that we were learning about, we would compare it to donuts naturally. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, they did serve us some little desserts, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit. Nothing really like quote unquote bad for you. So anyway, if you want to check out what we ate, go to Summer the Dietitian on Instagram.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting week. So we flew in on Wednesday. Is that right? Yeah, Wednesday.
It seems like we've been here so long.
It seems like we've been here a long time.
Today's Sunday. We flew in on Wednesday. And we got here the day before the conference started because we wanted to tourist around DC. We haven't been here since.
We did a meetup, our first meetup.
Yes, we did that initially. Okay, you can, all right, continue. Please continue.
That whole like linear thought kind of thing.
It was so long ago now. That was Wednesday. Today's Sunday. There's so much has happened since then.
So yeah, we had our very first downsized meetup. We had about 30 people join us here from all over the place.
All over the place. People drove in.
Just kind of hung out at the
Hung out in the
hotel,
lobby.
chatted. There were people, locals to Washington, D.C. Of course, Durham had come in from Richmond, Virginia, so he had come in for the conference and see us as well. We had a lady
from California.
Who just happened to be here on a business trip, and she was like, I saw you were going to be here, so I came right over. I left the business and came over. We had a lady who was visiting her mother from Azerbaijan.
I think her brother.
Or her brother, okay.
Azerbaijan. She comes up to us and she goes, I watch you in my home country of Azerbaijan. And I was like, are you kidding? She said, no, I'm here in DC visiting my brother and I knew you were going to be here, so I wanted to come say hello. And I was like, wow. She's like, yeah, in my country, I'm on a GLP-1. We don't have a lot of information there, so I went to YouTube and I found your channel, and I was just like, I can't even.
Yeah, the reach is just startling.
I can't even believe it. Super nice. All of our people were just super nice. Somebody had come in from New York City. They were, bundling things together. So they said she wanted to see the African American History Museum, because she had gotten tickets in advance and she knew we were going to be here. So she was kind of doing all the things at one time. So several people drove in. Several people from Maryland drove in to see us. So it was a lot of fun.
So we have 5 more meetups coming up throughout the year as of right now. If you'd like to learn more about those or join us at any of those, you can go to thedownsize.org and RSVP there. They're absolutely free. They're very casual. I'll tell you, you just kind of show up and we chat and talk and say hello. We can take selfies, whatever you guys want to do. But it's just an opportunity to get out there and meet you guys. Mm-hmm. So we'll be in Orlando, or in Charlotte next, then in Orlando. And I won't get these in the right order, probably Charlotte, Orlando, Vegas, Chicago, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Atlanta for Obesity Week. That'll be our next conference in Atlanta. We'll have a booth at Obesity Week next to our friend Condi Carmack and obesitycancerconnection.org. So if you're at Obesity Week, please stop by and say hello.
Yep. So we'll be there. Go check it out. Maybe there's more coming on the calendar. Maybe there's not. As of right now, that's what's scheduled for the year. Honestly, these are all a function of where we're already traveling for other things with our business or cruise or whatever.
Except for Vegas.
Except for Vegas, and I just wanted to go see Kelly Clarkson. So if you know Kelly Clarkson, we're trying to get an interview with her. Hook us up.
Somebody out there might know her.
Somebody out there knows Kelly. So we would love to have her be a part of that, and you'll hear more about that as well. So make sure you go to thedownsize.org and RSVP for the meetups. We'd love to see you out there.
Okay, so that was Wednesday. And then Thursday, nothing was going on with the conference until the opening reception at 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. So we went over to Washington, D.C. and did some tourist things. We wake up early. We're I don't know, we're old and we can't sleep anymore, I guess. So we woke up super early and we said, oh, let's go tour around now while it's cool, because it's been in the upper 90s here. So we went to started at the Lincoln Memorial and then walked basically down to the Washington Monument. We saw the Martin Luther King monument. I hadn't seen that before. Mm-hmm. The last time I was here was, I think, 1986, and I think actually that's the last time you were here. So it's changed a little bit since high school.
Well, Martin Luther King was built, FDR was built, World War II and the Korean were not here.
We're not here.
Last time I was here.
Yeah, I don't really, and I also toured, I lived in Virginia as a child, and we toured with my parents, my sister and I, when we were little. I don't really remember much about that trip. And I remember a little bit about my high school trip, but it was a long time ago.
It's interesting. I hadn't seen any of those monuments, and they are moving. It's pieces of our history. I can tell you, it is a long walk from the Lincoln Memorial all the way up to the Washington Monument. Really, we went about halfway to the Capitol from there, because we also went into some of the Smithsonians and stuff. Mm-hmm. it's a long walk. When you see this stuff happening, the protests and things happening in the mall, it is huge. You could fit millions of people there.
Yeah, for sure. So, we went into the American History Museum, and so it's got a lot of pop culture stuff in that. So we saw Dorothy's shoes from The Wizard of Oz. We saw C-3PO and R2-D2. They had in there some costumes from Glee, like
Julia Child's Kitchen.
Julia Child's Kitchen, which of course
that's what I wanted to see.
Christopher wanted to see. There was a whole display on a whole section on food and how food in the U.S. has evolved, and snack foods, and so I snapped some pictures. Maybe I'll do a whole separate thing on that. It's really thought provoking. There was a graphic that showed like all these different diets through the years, and I'm like, did that one. I forgot about that one. Hollywood diet, absolutely. I was eating pineapple every morning on that one. So it was it's like, oh yeah, I get it. But I liked that museum.
Yeah, it was very nice. And if you've never been to Washington, all the Smithsonian's are free. You just walk in.
Just walk in.
And there was a lovely gentleman right there at the front that was like, "What would you like to see?" And he had a map and kind of told you where to go.
Yeah, what are you looking for in here? And I'm like, I don't even know what's in here. He's like, well, make sure you check out the flag that inspired the Star Spangled Banner.
Which was very cool.
I didn't know
it's
that
like
was
30
in
foot
there.
wide. It's huge. It was the one over Fort McKinley.
Yeah, so it's got some holes in it, and
I think that was like bombs and stuff.
No, I know, where the cannonballs went through. And you can read the history of this flag and where it used to be, and there was a family that used to like keep it, and they used to sell or give away snippets of the flag to people. Of course, they don't do that anymore. So, but it was really interesting.
Well, it was the head of the base, so Fort McKinley. It was I guess whatever his title is, I don't know, but his family.
And there's a lady, she you go and see where the flag is, and it's kind of a darkened space. I guess they don't want light
the light's bad for
degrading
it.
it. And so it's kind of dark, and they've got the words to the Star Spangled Banner like written on a plaque right in front. And these two ladies just started singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Well, the little girl, yeah.
Yeah, the little girl, which is cute. So yeah, we did that, and then we did the opening reception, and met some people, hung out. They fed us like some snacks, and then they had a 2-hour long panel discussion on I can't even.
Bias in the media.
Disinformation and misinformation in the media and regarding obesity. I guess one of the panelists had written a book on this subject, and I don't know. What did you take away from that?
From the panel? I mean, I don't know if there was any
No takeaways?
Well, no, I mean, some of these were just, sometimes we all have obvious conversations about things we already know exist. So do we know that the media is not nice to fat people? Sure, we know that.
Yeah.
This is just sort of a deeper dive and a deeper conversation. Honestly, it focused more on social media than anything else. And so there was a lot of TikTokers in the room that took a little bit of offense to it, but...
Yeah, so I guess one of the organizers of this conference has a TikTok channel herself. She started a podcast, and then her marketing people convinced her to go on TikTok. So as she has been on TikTok, she has come across Mike on a Mission and Jamie Seltzer.
There's a bunch of them.
And GLP-1, what's Sabina's?
Winners.
GLP-1 winners. So she had encouraged those TikTokers to come to this conference, and I guess eventually they did. They were kind of back and forth whether they wanted to or not. And I guess in this back and forth conversation, Darium had also learned about this conference.
Darium's on TikTok,
Because Darium's everywhere, right? He's on TikTok, he's everywhere. So when they said last night, stand up if I reached out to you on TikTok and asked you to come, they all stood up. So I was like, oh, that's cool. We wouldn't have known about this if not for Darium, if not for the lady reaching out to the TikTokers. And anyway, so that was interesting.
But so we did 2 lives this week that kind of give you a little bit of a recap. And when we get home, we'll distill some more and see if there'll be more content coming out of it. We've done, did a couple of good interviews here with people, and we met a lot of doctors and things. So this there's a lot of good content coming out of this. I mean, it's an interesting event because it's really an obesity-focused event. It's not
Right.
a GLP-1
It's not a-
focused event.
no.
So these people were a combination of patients, doctors, nutritionists, providers, Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, the whole 9 yards. But it was obesity across the spectrum. So some of these people had done bariatric surgery, some of them had done GLP-1, some of them, there was all kinds of things going on.
Right, and a lot of them have been coming for years to this conference, and have been on this journey for years. So we heard a lot of stories of bariatric surgery, and there was one of the tables, one of the sponsors was sampling bariatric vitamins, and so we also had a table from Novo Nordisk and Wegovy. Eli Lilly had some papers in the swag bag, but no table. And they said that there were people from Eli Lilly here.
I met one of the guys. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
He was a scientist. He was nice.
Oh, I never, I never did talk to anyone directly from Eli Lilly, but I did, of course, talk to the Wegovy ladies at the Wegovy table. When are you going to bring Wegovy? Wegovy? I'm like, when are prices going to come down? They're like, we don't know. We're just here to educate about Wegovy. I'm like, okay.
They were not that high up at Novo Nordisk.
Yeah, and the separate table for Novo Nordisk was really like a more of an educational table on like cardiac disease and how their medicines can help that. So
Anyway, so this was an interesting conference. Like I said, it's not a GLP-1 specific, so there was no information on new drugs or research or any of the science. This was really living with obesity. This organization, the Obesity Action Coalition, is very focused on lobbying and really getting out there and trying to get the laws changed and trying to change bias and stigma. So it's a fascinating conversation. They announced they'll be doing their event in Orlando next year. In July. In July again as well. We will probably go to it. We'll put the information there. Maybe we'll do a meetup down there as well in Orlando around that.
I think it's at the Renaissance SeaWorld or something. Anyway, you can go to obesityactioncoalition.org and get all the information on that.
So that was that. I mean, I don't know, the conversation is so much bigger when you get out there and listen to the doctors and the therapists and the people who are lobbying, in front of Congress. So I think it's interesting.
Yeah, the speakers on the 2 full days of speakers were everything from, Dr. Kushner, who gave kind of like a whole
scientific overview,
everything from obesity, possible causes to GLP-1s. Interesting conversation there. What several of the doctors or scientists were saying is, we are at an inflection point with GLP-1s. Here's the trend curve. It's just starting to take off, right? And both doctors that spoke said there has been nothing in their lifetime, nothing that they've ever seen or heard of, that can do the things that these GLP-1s can do. And it's a very exciting time, and there's even more GLP-1s in development. They didn't really discuss that, but it's just really starting to take off. And when you think that the general population of the United States, 74% of them have overweight or have obesity, this is huge, right? So it was very exciting. Dr. Kushner spoke. I forget who else spoke that first day.
Well, so if there's more detail. If you go watch the lives, there's a lot more detail there, and we'll distill it out.
Yeah, I did a Zumba class in the morning on the first day. One of the lady leading the Zumba class was a Zumba certified instructor. I think she had lost 200 pounds, 300 pounds, head skin removal surgery. Just amazing. I met this other guy in the Zumba. His name is Nate. His channel is Nate Cando. He's on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of energy. He does a lot of Zumba and running, and just thrilled to be here. And he was just kind of like meeting all his, GLP-1 heroes from TikTok, and he was just thrilled.
Yeah.
We had a costume party that night, and he dressed up like Elvis. I think he won a prize.
I think he got like 3rd place or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so we also heard presentations on, finding your joy, kind of like a positivity one. We also heard from Dr. Robin on the things that you carry in your weight loss journey. What are you carrying? How do you unpack those things? Things that aren't even maybe your burdens to carry, but you're carrying them and you've carried them all through your life. And how do you work through those kind of things to get to, a better frame of mind, I think, in terms of your weight and your health and things like that.
And so I'll reach out to the OAC and see if we can get access to some of these presentations. Maybe we'll be able to use them somehow. I'm not really sure. Either that or we'll have some of these doctors on them.
Well, last night on the closing night, I went up to Dr. Robin and I gave her my card. I was kind of fangirling. I was like, I loved your presentation. I would love for you to come on our channel and be interviewed. And she was like, okay. So I hope she'll email me and maybe we'll get that set up.
Yeah. All right, so that was our week. It's been, I also wanted to talk about the SECA scale. So one of the exhibitors was a company called SECA that does this sort of medical grade bioimpedance scale.
Do you have all your results?
I do. They're on my phone though, and we're filming with my phone.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do a separate little video about that. But it was, you can tell me.
So a medical grade bioimpedance scale. So just like your Renpho one, it's the $20 one sitting there, but this is a full deal.
You hold handles.
And it's, I think, $7,000 or $8,000, and it will be in like a wide MCA or your doctor's office.
Yeah.
A gym. She said some gyms have it. So they were trying to sell these, obviously. But the nice thing was they were doing these free for you, so you could just walk in.
Yeah.
And do it, and they'd give you your little report. So what did you think of that?
My weight was 3 pounds higher on that scale versus my home scale. But, you
were wearing clothes.
And time of day and blah, blah,
You were wearing clothes.
I hate to weigh on other people's scales. I weigh on my scale, and I know my scale, and I don't like the doctor's scale. Anyway, it was fine. The biggest takeaway for me, because I can see my measurements on my phone app and comparing them. And maybe we'll do a more detailed comparison because they emailed us the results. My body fat on the SECA scale was 33%, and my body fat on the Renpho scale was 23%. So like a 10% difference in body fat, which I thought was a lot. And I mentioned that to the lady reading me my results, and she said, well, our equipment is accurate to like 98%. I'm like, okay, well, I would expect you would be more accurate than my $20 home scale, but I wouldn't expect there to be such a big difference. Everything else was pretty much in line, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, we'll take a deeper dive.
And mine was all pretty much the same. It was within a point, I think, of everything that the Renpho scale said. Yeah. Interestingly, how was your muscle?
I don't remember. I'll have to look. So it was similar. It was similar. And they could also tell you if you were symmetrical, like right bicep to left bicep and right side of your body to left side of your body, like in terms of muscle mass. And I was very symmetrical. I think you were very symmetrical
too.
One of the guys,
I'm not sure why that matters. I guess you could work out on one side more or the other.
Maybe Jamie or maybe Zach said that one bicep of theirs was much larger than the other ones. I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, we'll do a little bit further dive on that.
For me, it basically said, I am average. My muscle mass is average. When you look at the XY axis, I was right in the middle.
Yeah.
To which I said, hallelujah, that's exactly what I want to be.
All right. So.
Which annoyed Laraine.
Which annoyed me because he does not work out or lift weights, and yet he has kept 90% of his. I don't even think you lost that much muscle on your weight loss.
If you believe the Renpho scale, I lost about 9 pounds.
Out
of the 104 pounds.
Like that's. Very unusual, very unusual. So, a lot of this has to do with genetics and what you eat. And they were talking about, speaking of genetics, they were talking about your genetics pretty much set up to 70% of how you're going to, function and be as a person. So, when we think about losing weight and kind of fighting our bodies to get to these places where we want to be, sometimes we have to realize that genetics are always going to win. Our body is always going to win. So we can move the needle a little bit, but how much we can move it is predetermined.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna magically wake up and be Charles Barkley. Just not gonna happen.
Well, Right.
Ryan Lochte, pick someone, it doesn't
Well,
matter.
I wasn't really talking much about height or race or
But whatever
eye
those
color.
things, you're not going to
You're
change
not
it.
gonna, yeah. So, but your weight really is one of those things that is kind of locked in. You can change it a little bit, but
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, you want to answer some questions? So I have some questions here on my magic computer.
Magic.
So this is that part where we weigh in on questions from you guys. Usually I print them out, but I don't have a printer here, so they're on my computer. And basically, if you'd like to submit a question, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can either do it in the comments, and I go back and search for questions and do it and just pull them. Or you can email them to Laraine or myself. Laraine's email is laraine@thedownsized.org. Mine is Christopher@thedownsized.org, so super easy. So question number 1 is from Gregory. He says, I'm reading a lot about retatrutide. What is your opinion on this upcoming GLP-1? Your YouTube videos have been extremely helpful on my GLP-1 journey, 85 down and pushing for that last 15. So what I think of retatrutide is cool. I mean, retatrutide's from Eli Lilly. It's in research right now. Hopefully at some point.
Stage 3 trials right
Yeah,
now.
hopefully at some point, maybe end of next year, we'll see retatrutide come out. It is a triple activating thing, so it's got a GLP-1, a GIP, and a glucagon. If you believe what they're telling you, it's supposed to like melt weight, fat right off of you.
Fat right off people, right. It's supposed to be very effective, more so than Tirzepatide, which is in Zepbound and Mounjaro, and certainly much more effective than Wegovy or Ozempic. So it sounds very exciting. I think it'll be a great option for people with, say, 100 pounds or more to lose. That might be a good starting option. I don't know, we'll have to see. As far as price points,
it's going to be high. It's going to be expensive. That will be the top end drug that Lilly has.
I mean,
it'll be more than Tirzepatide for sure.
Yeah, that's our guess. So it probably won't be something that we will be eligible for at this point in our weight loss journey because we just.
I mean, I don't know that we'd need it. So.
It won't be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a maintenance thing for us. It would be just a very effective drug for weight loss, which is very exciting. I mean, it's people are really.
And I mean, they're saying
eager
it's going to help a lot with if you have liver disease. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on there. Like for you, I mean, if you're 85 down and you're pushing to the last 15, odds are you're going to make maintenance a long time before retatrutide comes out. So, barring something happen, I don't know that you're going to need that retatrutide anytime soon. But there's a lot of other drugs that are coming. So, an orforglipron from Lilly as well, that's an oral that might be good options for maintenance. So I mean, I think what's truly exciting is just the sheer number of drugs in development and the options that we're going to have. So essentially, instead of just having what are really 2 effective options, semaglutide and tirzepatide, yeah, there's some older stuff, but those are the two main ones most people are taking right now. A year from now, 2 years from now, there might be 5, 6, 7 options that your doctor can use the right tool for you. So I mean, that's what's truly exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, just to touch back a little bit on orforglipron, we're looking for this drug to be FDA approved in early 2026.
Mid 2026.
Mid 2026. Yeah. So orforglipron is another GLP-1 drug from Eli Lilly, who makes Zepbound and Mounjaro. It'll be a pill, so it's a once daily pill, right?
Yep.
No injection, no refrigeration, just a once daily pill. So. I'm kind of side-eyeing that to see if maybe that's something that would work for me in maintenance. The weight loss percent is not quite as good as.
It's basically where Ozempic. It's basically where Ozempic and Wegovy is.
Okay, so those,
and always remember
those percents are like 10-12% weight loss.
Yeah, I think it's like 16%, but yeah.
Well, I thought, what's Tirzepatide?
20.
Is it? Anyway, we know that Tirzepatide works slightly better than semaglutide. And so orforglipron will be right there in that semaglutide kind of range. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, what the price will be. Will that be an affordable option for somebody like us that doesn't have healthcare coverage or weight loss? We have healthcare, but it doesn't cover weight loss
obesity
medications.
Coverage, yeah.
Any weight loss medications.
So I think what you're going to see is some of these. The one that comes out that has the best combination of price and weight loss and the least amount of side effects will be the one that wins. not necessarily the one that has the most weight loss. And I know that people are like, oh, no, but something like an orforglipron all of a sudden hits at $100 maybe not, who knows. It's got 17% weight loss. Remember, that's an average from a research project. I've lost 38% of my body weight on one that's on Tirzepatide, that according to the research doesn't give you that much. So,
well, we've seen many people lose well beyond the tested averages for body percent. Weight loss percent. So
which comes to our next question from Simon. Now, Simon sent me an entire email that I'm not going to read all of because he had a whole lot of stuff, and I actually sent him back a couple of different answers. But he says, thanks for all of your great content and congrats on your stunning results and journey. Well, thank you very much. Basically, let's see. I mean, this is like a 600-word email.
Is there a question?
Yeah, there is. There's several questions. He asks about Renfo scales. In a few videos, you've talked about your muscle loss using only your Renfo scale data. I understand that Renfo weighing is not a reliable source, not accurate of information for bone density, muscle, water, fat, etc. The gold standard is DEXA. Have you and Chris had one yet? Please tell me in which video. Thanks. So here's the thing about the Renfo scale, and everybody's going to jump on and go, it's not reliable, it's not reliable. Everyone we talk to here, the doctors and the scientists, will tell you that these digital scales are directionally reliable. So if you want to look at one specific data point, how far off is it? A little bit. I don't think it's honestly as far off as people want to tell you, but if you look at that aggregate of data, so if we're weighing every day and I've got 700 data points, that directional piece is going, and you then have to ask yourself, what actions am I going to take from this data? So what is it telling me? How can I change what I'm doing? Is DEXA more reliable? Absolutely, there's no question about it. It's also between generally $100 and $300 where you get a DEXA scan done. Measure yourself, make actions, do something.
Well, and it's interesting. I think a couple of the TikTok influencers that we were talking to this week, I think Zach in particular was saying, for him it's not about what he weighs anymore. It's about adding muscle, right? So he's looking at that muscle mass piece. He's trying to build muscle, add muscle. So I think, when you add muscle, sometimes you might see your weight go up if you're adding a pound or two of muscle over time. So he's trying not to look at the scale because it might throw him off from his quest to increase muscle. So, these are just getting, when you get down into maintenance and you really get in the weeds and you're trying to fine tune it and you really want to get to a certain level of fitness or a certain level of muscle or fat or whatever, I think, the DEXA scan is extremely accurate and can be extremely helpful if you're really tuning in. I also think a DEXA scan can be helpful if you're at the beginning of your journey and you just want a baseline. You know what I mean? We didn't do one in the beginning. Will we do one at some point? Probably, just to see, for the experience and to see it. Some of the people we talked to here are getting DEXA scans every month. I think Mike on a Mission was.
It wasn't every month, but it was every couple of months.
3 months or something like that. So, they are a great tool if you have access to one. They cost money. So,
again, ask yourself, what are you going to do with this data? So if it gives you information that you can change a behavior, what you're eating, whatever, and it be impacted, that's fine. If you just want the data because you're a data nerd and you have cash to spend, okay, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
I honestly believe you can make most decisions that you need to make with a Renfo scale. You can say, oh, look, my muscle's going down a little bit. I need to work out. I need to eat protein. I need to, right? All those actions don't change.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're saying, well, what's a Renfo scale? Go to our Amazon store on thedownsize.org. Click on our Amazon store. We're Amazon affiliates. We make a small commission off each purchase. And so you can see the scale that we use, the travel scale we have. There's an app that comes with it. It goes to your phone. So I have, 2 years of scale data probably even more than that. We've been using this for a long time. And it's the graphs and things are very interesting to chart your progress over time.
So Simon also says, I would appreciate at least a full video interview on titration strategies. This is one of the main issues when we start this journey. The family doctors and the pharmacists do not know a lot about this subject. How can we maximize weight loss and long-term weight loss success? Could we maximize weight loss in the long term if we go up? And he starts asking about very specific titration strategies.
Mm-hmm. We are not doctors.
Yeah, we're not doctors, number one. Number two, like and subscribe. Here's the thing about titration strategies. The amount of research that exists on titration strategies outside of Surmount, which used this traditional Lilly monthly titration, is, I haven't seen any. There's not any that exists. So right. Everything that you hear about titration strategies will be anecdotal. So it's my experience, Lorraine's experience, whatever. To my knowledge, there is no titration strategy that is proven to maximize weight loss. I have a tendency to believe, and people will argue with me, and that's fine, that if once we get 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road, the averages will even out, and no matter how you titrate it, you're probably going to lose about the same amount of weight. I could be wrong. Happens all the time. My children tell me that.
I think the issue comes in where people want fast weight loss, right? This is not a fast weight loss solution. This is a long-term treatment for the disease of obesity, right? So you have to think of these as these treatments. We've been on these for, I think this is week 94, 95, somewhere in there. And we plan to continue to use these medications for the foreseeable future. I don't know what medicines are going to come out in the future, but I certainly plan to maintain my weight with a GLP-1 medication. So there's no, and it's so hard when you have weight to lose, any amount of weight to lose, the time seems to stand still, right? And you might want to put a date on the calendar to say, oh, by this date I want to lose 20 pounds, by this date I want to lose 50, by this date, maybe a year from now it'll be 100. There shouldn't be a rush to go up in titration, just like there shouldn't be a rush to lose all your weight in 30 days, you know what I mean? This is a long-term strategy. So for us, for me, I moved up. I did 2.5 for a month, 5 for a month, and then I went to 7.5 because that's what my initial provider sent me. So that's what I did. And then, we heard...
Which you realize is funny because all the vials were the same. They weren't actually different vials. It was just a different draw.
I had 3 vials.
Yeah.
Anyway, and puncture time. Anyway, that's what I did. And then, I heard, if you're on a dose and it's working, stay on that dose. Oh, okay. So then I stayed on 7.5, I think around 2 months, maybe 10 weeks. And I was losing really good on 7.5. It slowed down, and then I moved up to 10. So, I think now what we've seen, and again, we're not doctors, but if a dose is working for you, and by working I mean you're losing half a pound to 2 pounds a week, stay on that dose. There's no necessarily benefit or faster weight loss from moving up. Now, if your weight loss slows down, if it goes to 0 for a couple weeks, and your side effects are 0 or manageable, talk to your provider. You might want to go up to the next dose. So there's no,
but again,
hard and fast kind of
all of the conversation is anecdotal. There is
right.
no research on alternate dosing strategies. There's no research on split dosing. There's no research. I mean, it just doesn't exist. It's not to say that it won't come, but so that's a lot of us in the community all talking about and what works for us and what doesn't. What people want is for there to be something that says if you do X, Y, and Z, you get this result. And we're all different.
This ain't that.
We have different heights, weights, health histories. We have different metabolisms. We have different amounts of water and fluid and electrolytes in our body. Everything is different. And honestly, we're different every day. So there's not going to be a 2 + 2 = 4. It's going to change week to week, dose to dose. The prevailing wisdom, as she said, is take your time, move up slowly, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose. Do we really know if that's going to extend out how this medicine works forever? No, we don't really know that. But it's worth a shot. And honestly, if it can help minimize your side effects a little bit and maximize your weight loss, that's great, right? It's not going to hurt anything. So yeah, we do the best we can, and hopefully there's some more research that can come out, and there's new drugs and all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so Laraine says,
I'm Laraine.
well, with an O, with an O and two R's. Laraine,
Oh.
Laraine PFAF 4827
Okay.
says, I'm on Zepbound now, and they want me to go on Wegovy. Can you help me understand the difference?
I'm sorry.
So not doctors, first of all.
We're not doctors. So both of these medications are GLP-1 based medications. Ozempic and Wegovy are semaglutide. Ozempic's been around for 20 plus years, right? Mounjaro and Zepbound are tirzepatide. They're newer. Tirzepatide has been proven to be slightly more effective for weight loss than semaglutide. And if your insurance is making her go
Yeah.
to Wegovy,
It's probably the
it's probably
CVS
the
Caremark thing,
CVS
yeah.
Caremark ordeal. Ask your doctor if you really want to stay on Zepbound. We have seen people have some success if their doctor writes an appeal letter or.
Well, so we did an interview with Joe, who's a physician's assistant, and he walks you through this. So he answers this question in much more detail, and he walks you through how to potentially get approvals and things. I would strongly recommend you go back and watch that. I wouldn't panic though. Both of these drugs work really well,
Right.
and they've worked for a lot of people. You may have to try it. If it doesn't work for you, it gives you more reason to appeal to your insurance provider. So it's okay. Does it suck? Should they be able to do that? No, they shouldn't. It should be against the law.
I mean, what's the difference, between Wegovy and Zepbound? Some people report different side effects with Wegovy. The main one we hear is nausea. So, if that's a problem for you, work with your provider. Is it going to slow down your weight loss? It's hard to say. You can always try it and see, but if you're getting insurance coverages for any of these GLP-1 medications and they're making you switch to a different one, it's not going to hurt you, right? I don't think it's going to necessarily be that your journey's over and you're cooked, right? No, and if you're still getting these medications covered, well, you've basically won the GLP-1 lottery anyway on that front. So, you can try it. You can have your doctor appeal it. You can, see how it might work great for you. So
It'll be okay, though.
It'll be fine.
Yep. All right. Sammy Passo says, I live in the UK. Would I find compound tirzepatide here? Well, so then let's explain what compounding is. So compounding essentially is, pharmacists and drugstores have been around for hundreds of years. And originally, when you went into a pharmacy, there were no mass manufactured drugs, right? The pharmacist would mix up in a little mortar and pestle whatever it was you needed. And that's just how they were made. It's only with the advent of manufacturing that sort of thing diminished. And you now buy them in bottles and pills and all of this stuff. So there in most places in most countries are still pharmacists who do things like that and there are in England, I'm sure as well, because if you have an allergy, maybe there's something in it you need done special, or maybe your doctor needs a special mix or what have you. So there's real pharmacists out there that still mix things up. Compounded tirzepatide is just tirzepatide that has been made by one of those pharmacists. And it exists in the United States because of the quirks of the FDA regulations and our laws. I don't know that exists in the UK. In fact, I'm pretty sure it does not exist in the UK, and it's not legally allowed for them to make it. We have lots of UK viewers, so if I'm incorrect, please correct me, but I don't think it does.
Yeah, well, and I think the price is not such a problem in the UK as it is in the United States. So, if you don't have insurance in the United States, the price of Zepbound can be well over $1,000.
Yeah, in the UK it would be Mounjaro though. So
Mounjaro. So I think the price of Mounjaro in the UK is
It's like
Not
$150 or $100,
right.
or somebody will tell.
Yeah.
There's varying prices out there.
So,
Somebody will tell us.
Right now in the U.S., I'm paying $199 a month for compounded Tirzepatide. I think you can probably get Mounjaro for cheaper than that in the U.K. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't think. I know in Australia, our friend James in Australia said that they eliminated compounded medications from Australia. You can't get compounded Tirzepatide in Australia. The government shut that down completely. So I'm not sure about the U.K.
All right, so we've got two questions that are basically the same question. We'll wrap this up for today. From Lovely Stormy, hi, can someone please answer this question? Will you gain weight back regardless of your exercise and dieting after you finish taking the medication for good? Meaning, will your metabolism stop working? Brenda Logan asks.
Metabolism never stops working.
Well, Brenda Logan asks a similar question. Are you actually able to come off this medication when you meet your goal, or does your body require you to take this medication for metabolism boost for the rest of your life? So as Laraine said, metabolism doesn't stop working. This medication does not actually boost your metabolism. That's not the way it works. So it's causing increased satiety, so you feel full quicker. It's causing slower digestion. It's impacting the way your brain thinks, right? So the food noise question. So it's not really a metabolism question.
But I think the question people want to know is, do you have to stay on this drug forever? And can you come off of it? So, the camps are kind of split on that. You might want to go back and watch our interview with Dr. G?
Yeah.
Dr. G that we did.
Or any of the doctors. We asked this question to all of the doctors.
I asked this question to every doctor, right? We asked it a few questions back, and the camps are split. For me personally, I don't feel that I've been battling this disease of obesity for my whole life, since I was a child, right? So why would I know I can't do it without it. Why would I want to? I don't. But I think possibly for some people, it may be possible if you have not had a lifelong battle with obesity, if maybe your weight came on maybe later in life, maybe caused by a medication or an accident or some other trigger, menopause. I don't know, but that's what some doctors, especially Dr. G, was kind of pointing to. And the great thing about these medications is if you go off of them and you start to gain some weight back, go back on them, right? Like, it's not like
they're not going
away,
yeah.
Right? So I did talk to a doctor at this conference yesterday during lunch who has been on Ozempic or some form of a GLP-1 for 13 years. And over the course of those 13 years, she has gone off for various reasons. And then, I think she said the longest point she was off was 3 months, and she started to slowly gain some weight back, so she went back on. So, I don't believe in an off and on strategy. I don't think that's a good idea, but, if you wanted to, titrate down in your dose once you got to maintenance, see what dose you could get to, and then maybe stretch those doses out. Instead of 7 days, go to 10 days. And, there are strategies like that Dr. G uses something like that for his patients. Work with your doctor, see what, your doctor says. Now, of course, this is not for type 2 diabetics. They're different. They're different. They're using this medication to control their A1C. So this is not a type 2 diabetic conversation. But for some people, it may be possible. For me, I don't think it would be possible. Do you ever see yourself
No, I don't
coming
ever
off?
see. And honestly, I'm in a place where I took blood pressure and cholesterol medicine for
20 years.
Yeah, 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there was and nobody ever looked at me and said, well, if you when are you coming off that? It's a bad thing. Well, honestly, I think that's because, first of all, there's not the stigma. People don't.
Right.
There's just not the
No stigma for taking.
Hey,
a statin.
fat guy, you're lazy. Go do something about
Right.
it. I think there's also a cost conversation, right? So those medications, there's so many competitors for those. They've been out
Statins
so
are
long.
cheap, right?
They're pretty cheap. So I think as I look at it, I believe I will be on some version of GLP-1 for the remainder of my life. Whatever the next version is, if it's cheaper, if it's whatever I will be. And I have no problem with that. I don't think there's any stigma. It doesn't bother me even in the slightest.
Well,
I don't believe they'll always be the price they are today. I believe we've already seen the price
Eventually.
come down a good bit. Even in the last year, the branded's almost half the price right now that it was a year ago. And I think you're going to continue to see that come down. And I think as we get orals out and there's more options, big deal. So I take another pill. It doesn't matter. I got rid of my blood pressure and my cholesterol.
Well, and I think it goes back, and we talked a lot about this at this conference this week, obesity bias, right? The people are biased against people who have obesity, people who have overweight. And we have to go back to the fact that obesity is a disease. Everyone at this conference has said that. The American Medical Association says it. So we've heard it from doctors. We've heard it from, we've heard it everywhere we've gone this week. Obesity is a disease, and how powerful that is for some people to hear, for everyone to hear, who struggles with the disease of obesity. So, once everyone comes to understand that it's not our fault that we have this disease of obesity, you can see the effects from our disease as we walk around in these larger bodies, right? And it's not our fault any more than someone with cancer is their fault. Like, you would never deny, this was an example, you would never deny cancer treatment to a lung cancer patient. Even if they smoked cigarettes and brought their disease on themselves, you would still provide them access and treatment to care. So, not that people with obesity have brought this disease on themselves. And another interesting point that was made was overeating does not cause obesity.
The disease.
Overeating does not cause the disease of obesity. The disease of obesity causes overeating. And so that's, we have to think about these things and let them settle in our brain and really embrace them, because they're facts, right? And if you accept obesity as a disease and it's not our fault, we have been driven to overeat by our brain saying eat, eat, eat all the time for our whole lives. And this medication, quiets that voice driving us to eat. And I only eat when I'm hungry. What a concept.
Well, and these medications are not a cure.
They're not a cure. They're a treatment.
Even when you lose weight, even when it goes away, that's just the outward symptom of the disease. It's
Right.
not a cure. It's a treatment for it. So, if indeed you do have those, the problem, and I believe I do, I believe Laraine does. If we stop taking that medication, then the odds of us gaining weight, it may be slowly, are really high, and the odds of the other symptoms of the disease coming back are really high. It's going to be specific to you, your individual history, your genetics, the whole 9 yards. Talk to your doctor. But I'm not worried about taking these medications for the rest of my life, even a little bit.
No, I'm not either. We know what these GLP-1s can do, so I think it's great. I think we've changed our health, we've changed our lives, and isn't that what it's all about? So.
Yep. All right, is that it for us this week?
I believe it is.
We're going to go hang out in the airport and see when our plane actually gets out of here. And
yeah, it's been delayed. We're supposed to take off at 11. Now we're taking off at 2. So.
And then, while you're bored today, hanging out, go check out thedownsized.org. You can RSVP for any of our meetups. We also announced our 2026 cruise. Go check that out. It'll be in June of next year. If you'd like to join us for a cruise out of Miami, we would love to have you. So go to thedownsized.org and check that out. While you're there, make sure you sign up for our email list. Social media is so crazy right now. They're blocking groups and doing all kinds of crazy things every day. If we have you on our list, we can always get in touch with you, and you'll get alerts if we announce a new meetup or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I also have a Facebook group at The Downsized Adventure with Laraine and Christopher, if you would like to check that out. You have to answer some questions, agree to the rules, and then myself or one of my admins will let you into the group. I think it's about 2,500 members right now, and it's kind of like I feel like it's a little kind of safer space. Some of these other GLP-1 Facebook groups have gotten so big and kind of out of control, and I feel like ours is a little kinder and gentler. So I hope it can stay that way.
Yeah. Well, very good. So that's it for us this week. We make videos every day, so make sure you like and
Like
subscribe.
and subscribe. You never know what's going to happen next around here.
Yep.
So yeah, please like and subscribe to our channel.
My name is Christopher Durham,
I'm Laraine Durham.
and we are The Downsized.